What's going on, everybody? Ed0626 here, hoping you're all having a fantastic day today. So, your boy's been a little bit busy. I wanted to get this video out a lot sooner than I initially did, but it's better to be late than to not have it out at all, because this has been a game that I've wanted to play and cover on the channel for quite some time, and that game that you're currently looking at in the background is none other than the new LEGO Star Wars game, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which is literally all 9 films across multiple different planets. They had a whole open world thing. I've covered it on the channel before. The game's been, it was delayed for a whole year practically, it felt like, or at least somewhere along those lines. It was definitely like 9 months the game was delayed for. And it finally came out a couple months ago. I didn't have the chance to get it. I finally had the chance to get it a couple of weeks ago. And now your boy has been playing this game on stream. And I gotta be honest with you guys, it's a really good fucking game. It has some problems, for me anyway, but it's a really, really good fucking game. It's a nice casual game to play, especially me, because when I was streaming again last week, and I will get back to streaming again, I've just been busy, like I've said. You know, it was just a nice casual game to play, man. It was just nice to hang out, not worry too much about anything, kind of just play the game. And I've always liked LEGO Star Wars games, and I'll tell you why. When I was in elementary, middle school, I had a Game Boy Advance. The ones that would flip up, they had like that flip up screen and shit like that. I think it was the SP, that model was. I had a blue one, if I remember correctly. Man, I really missed that thing. I used to play a lot of games on there, but the one game I no-lifed more than any game that I had for that little platform there was LEGO Star Wars, I think, 2? Yeah, it was LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. And oh my god, like I said, I no-lifed the fuck out of that game. 3 films on there for that little handheld controlled game platform, and I just had an absolute good fucking time with it, man. I love that game, and since then I have loved LEGO Star Wars games. I've played a little bit of the OG Complete Saga back in like the mid to late 2000s into the early 2010s and such, but I never actually bought the game and played it and no-lifed it like I played that game. So I always felt like I kind of missed out. I really wanted to buy the Complete Saga, but at the time, I really didn't know what platform to get it on, nor did I have the actual money to do so, or the time. But that's really what it came down to. And now I have the new LEGO Star Wars game, and let me just break this game down to you, man. If there was going to be an open world LEGO Star Wars game, this was going to be it. This has every bit of feel of an open world as you can get. I love the little side missions they have. I love that even like no-name NPC side character, side Lego piece, whatever, it kind of has its own little personality. I really dig that. They added a lot of voices for those people in the game. I just think it's a lot of fun. I thought it was really fucking cool that they actually went into making the whole world. And I said this on my streams. The world felt immersive, and that's what I loved so much about it, was how immersive that it felt. It literally felt like I was in the LEGO Star Wars, but not even that, I was in the Star Wars galaxy, just in LEGO form, and it just felt so fun, man. I really enjoyed it. The storylines, as far as the storylines go, obviously being a LEGO game, they're going to cut a lot of shit out, so that's a little bit disappointing, because there's some, plot points I think that are really funny or really important to the story that they had to change for whatever reason. But all in all, it's forgivable. It's a LEGO Star Wars game. I'm not playing the game on mumble mode. I never really understood the whole mumble mode phenomenon. Not for nothing, LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy on Game Boy Advance, didn't even have a mumble mode. They just kind of had like these little cutscenes with little to no dialogue in any of them. It was just little pop-up bubbles that would show up of what they were trying to get across, the points that they were trying to get across. It really doesn't bother me that the game has voice acting in it. I think the voice acting is actually pretty fucking solid. The set pieces for the levels are really fucking good. The boss battles are also very interesting, and, they keep you on your toes. I don't like the fact, and I will say this much from a gameplay perspective, getting True Jedi was something I always tried to accomplish in the old game that I played. And I came very close before my gameplay eventually would die out on me. Rest in peace. But the point I'm trying to make is that the way to get true Jedi is a little bit more difficult than I think it should be, especially considering, when you're trying to fight a boss, the camera locks onto that boss in a way where you can't really see like what's going on around you. So if you wanted to pick up studs, you had to like really force your character to move into an area where the camera can actually see it, and it's really kind of difficult. I don't know, I really had to explain it all that much, but the way the camera locks onto the boss is very, it's not as open as I would like it to be. Let's just put it that way. It's very locked on. You can't really see much around you. So, I mean, getting true Jedi is a bit of a pain. The Kyber brick mechanic that they added for like upgrades and shit, like I'm not opposed to having upgrades in the game, but I gotta be honest with you, I could really kind of do without it. Like, I think it's an interesting thing to add, but for me personally, I'm a keep it simple, stupid kind of guy. I'm not a whole big fan of the getting a Kyber brick for the sake of, or trying to get true Jedi, getting a Kyber brick, things like that. I much rather just get the mini kits. The mini kits to me are far more interesting to try and get, and I haven't even gotten a lot of those, so I guess mini kits kind of took a step back to have the Kyber bricks be the forefront of like upgrades and shit like that. So I'm not too keen on it. Like, I'm cool with the upgrades, but I think the way they went about it with this Kyber brick stuff is kind of a little much for me, considering, how long it actually you try to get them. If you're really trying to get Kyber bricks, you'd have to be lucky just to get enough to have one or two big upgrades, So they're really hard to come by if you're just playing this game super casually. I know that there are certain aspects of the game, and I don't mean to sound like I'm shitting on the game, because I'm not trying to. I love the fucking game. I really love the game with all my heart. The point I'm trying to make with this next thing is that a lot of the levels, they don't really tell you what to do. A lot of like the puzzles and shit, I know that there's going to be puzzles and stuff like that, and maybe I'm just used to the simplicity of the Game Boy playing these games. When I was playing a couple of the levels, for instance, hypothetically, I was playing the Jango Fett chase scene on Geonosis, and Obi-Wan's chasing him in the asteroids. I was spending fucking 20 minutes or so trying to find that motherfucker to get the last, finish the boss battle, because he disappears and then you don't know where the fuck he ended up. And I'm not very good at flying. That's another one of my vices with the game, is the flying mechanics, but I'm starting to get a little bit more in the hang of it. But where he was hiding, there was like 4 big asteroids, and I was looking everywhere for this fucking guy. And I'm like, where the fuck did he go? All of a sudden, he just pops up because I happened to find him. I literally had no clue where to find Jango Fett. There was also a piece during the droid factory battle that was really, it took me about 10-15 minutes to figure out. And maybe I'm just an idiot, but some of these things that they tell you to do, it's like, oh, do this. Okay, how? What is the way I'm supposed to do it? I don't like games when games really hold your hand, but it's a casual fucking game, man. Make it a little bit more easier to figure out what to do, because there were some parts in some of these levels where I'm like, okay, I see pieces that I might have to pay attention to, but what exactly do I have to do with these pieces? It doesn't explicitly say what you have to do or not. So those are just a couple of gripes I have, but all in all, like I said, I know it sounds like I was shitting on the game. I really wasn't. I absolutely adore the game. I'm going to try and stream it more and try to get the rest of the pieces done. But that's really all I have to say today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything else you want to say about the game, be sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the 69 Whiskey and Bromigos podcast wherever you find your podcasts. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Oh, and do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, will you? It definitely helps me out. Thank you guys so much. See you on the next one.